Welcome back. Our second guest tonight is the publisher of Indy's Child and the Hamilton County Family Magazine, Mary Wynne Cox. Mary, thank you for being here with us tonight.
Thanks so much for having me.
Absolutely. Tell us a little bit about some of the magazines that you run. And I'm just fascinated by the idea of being a magazine publisher, what your life must look like. Obviously, Indy's Child. What else?
We also publish Indy's Grandparent, and we publish magazines over in Ohio, Southwest Ohio Parent. We also do a special needs magazine once a year, and we do a baby magazine once a year, and we do an annual summer fun guide. So we have lots of different magazines going.
And what is the life of a magazine publisher like? I mean, it sounds very glamorous on one hand, but I suspect there's a lot of granular in the weeds work that goes into it.
Absolutely. I've been doing this for 38 years. So I started it right out of college. I guess you can guess my age, but
I won't do the math.
Yeah. Anyway, it's very challenging. It's been an interesting run since when we first started it. We didn't even have the internet, so life's a lot different. It's a lot easier in some ways, and it's a lot harder in other ways. But yeah, it's just every day is a different day and a different challenge, and it's always exciting. To me, it's like playing Monopoly. It's playing a game every day, so I love it.
Tell me about that internet presence, because I know you have a big internet presence, and digital has become so critical to everything that we do, the way we communicate in every industry, but I suspect for you it's become kind of a driving force.
It's really big. We've had over almost 2.5 million visitors in the past year to Indy'sChild.com. So we're number one if you like to search for Indianapolis camps, if you search for Indianapolis preschools or schools or whatever it is, we usually come up number one on Google.
What do you attribute that success to? Why do you think so many people have been flocking to the website?
I think I have a team that really understands SEO, which is the search engine optimization.
Yeah.
I just have a great team, and obviously I put that in the hands of my staff, but they're great at it. And it's amazing how much we can get out there with digital. With our print magazine is awesome because it's relaxing. I think the internet, sometimes people get on the internet and they get lost in things. It's like you're reading one article and all of a sudden you accidentally get onto, it's just not relaxing. It's very fast paced. With the magazine, I feel like you can sit down and really relax and enjoy it. So there are so many different levels of ways you reach parents, and we're really tapping into all of them.
Let's talk about the content. So for someone who doesn't know Indy's Child very well, you pick up the magazine, you sit down to read it. Yep, there it is. What can you expect? What would be inside a typical Indy's Child?
Well, I'd say the number one material that we produce is having fun with your family. And people look to us for what's going on in the city. So we always add to our website. And I think with mental health being the topic of this show, I think it's very important, in my opinion, that everyone looks forward to something in life. And it's easy to get lost in the daily stress. And just to look through the magazine and find some events that would be fun for your family, or even a travel. We do a lot of travel articles just in the Midwest. I think when you go to bed at night, having something to look forward to helps your mental health a lot, just being a happier person, and gives you something to look forward to. So when you're falling asleep, you can really think about something happy.
That makes a lot of sense. I also wonder if your audience, which I assume is mainly mothers of young children, they probably feel like life is so rushed. Like you were saying with the digital presence, it's not relaxing. Everything in their lives is so fast-paced, driven by this digital presence that we all now live through. Do you find that what they're looking for has changed? That because being a young mom is so much different than it was even 10 years ago, but certainly 20, 30 years ago.
Yes, and I think that the last 2 years have been extremely challenging for parents, especially with young kids. We covered, during the pandemic, we covered a lot of just different resources and how to, and I think there's a lot of mental health that went into that. It's still going on as our world is facing uncertain times. So did you ask me how things have changed?
Yeah, just what their appetite is for content, how that has maybe been shaped by certainly the pandemic, but the change of the pace of life too.
Yeah, I think that people don't have as much time. So like our articles used to be much longer. We would do 2, 3, 4-page articles or sections, and now everything is very limited. It's much smaller, so that chunks of content people can consume quickly. So I think people's attention spans are a lot shorter than they used to be, just because it is
shrinking.
It's just such a busy life that we're all leading.
Yeah. You've mentioned mental health a couple of times. I know it's not your sole focus, but it's probably something that you guys dive into on a fairly regular basis. How aware of mental health are you with the families that you're reaching, and how do you try to help them through that space?
We definitely cover it quite a bit. And as I showed you before this segment, we have a website. If you search mental health on indieschild.com, you'll see a whole bunch of resources, and the majority are from Crosswinds.
Yeah. It's been a great connection and a great partnership. From your perspective, what is it about Crosswinds Counseling that you think makes such a natural fit with Indy's Child?
Well, I think they're reaching the family market, or that's one of their main goals. And I think especially the partnership, and I think the business all started around the pandemic time.
Yeah.
And I think people have needed their services, and we've been happy to have them provide us with articles and really nice ads. It's been a great partnership, and
That's awesome. Well, Mary, thank you so much for all you're doing to invest into families here in and around Indianapolis, and thanks for being with us tonight.